revealed in Travelwrap last Friday what Ryanair were going to do on Monday. They were going to announce 40% of their aircraft back in the sky in July. Revealed on Tuesday what the European Commission were going to say on Wednesday, which is that 12-month vouchers would apply throughout the European Union, and also that social distancing was not going to be possible on board aircraft. Today, the European Air Safety Association said something similar. Social distancing on board aircraft is not a runner. Everything goes back to what happens before the flight. We're talking about temperature testing, we're talking about masks, and crucially, we're talking about the disinfecting of aircraft. But it's something they're going to have to get across to the travelling public if we are going to get confidence in travel back to see any semblance of a recovery for September and October. Predictable reaction by the health authorities and the politicians to what Ryanair said on Monday evening.
Lower than our normal load factor, but it's important we get the business back moving again and offer people a holiday before the schools restart in September.
If compassion fatigue is setting in, as it is in many well-publicised European situations and in America, the last thing they need is Pandora O'Leary letting the prospect of international travel out of the box, and that's exactly what he did.
We are requiring people, and also our passengers and our own people, to wear face masks.
We don't know whether this has affected bookings. We don't know what the level of bookings for those July flights are, but at the moment he still intends to open up 150 destinations. That is going to be followed by 60% of the fleet back in the sky in August and 80% of the fleet back in the sky by September. September, October are going to be the new summer if all goes to plan. But everything has to go right on the other side of the equation. And that is where what's happening in Spain is hugely significant. As of today, they have a 14-day quarantine for arriving passengers. This is something that's arising all throughout Europe. Even as the European Commission was releasing its 500-page document about the return to international travel, individual countries are now introducing 14-day quarantine periods. They're also doing bilateral agreements, the Baltic states being a good example. The asymmetrical agreement between Britain and Ireland is another example. Spain's 14-day quarantine is going to impact on the plans to reopen the country to tourism if it goes beyond the current date of May 24. That's likely. June 15, in common most European countries. That's when Spain intends to open its borders, and that's when the 14-day quarantine period will probably come to an end. As Ruben Lopez of the Spanish Tourist Board in Dublin says, they're going to concentrate on opening domestic tourism first and then hopefully international tourism.
And it is true that many regions are doing very, very well now, especially the islands, and particular places like Lanzarote, that they are well known for Irish tourists. I don't like to provide any dates because we don't have them. We are focused now on trust, confidence, and a healthy environment. We just developed a new guidelines. For example, you have guides for golfing, for golf clubs, you have guides for swimming pools, you have guides for campings, restaurants, hospitality as a whole, hotels. I mean, they are very thorough, they are very detailed. There are several regions that are doing really well regarding the infection, there have been, for example, Lanzarote didn't have a case for a month now, so it's COVID-free, only, remaining 8 cases. Of course, this date of the 15th of June. So to be on the safe side and to make a head start recovery for the whole country, not only for the regions that are doing well, I think that's very important.
Portugal is further down the road on the opening of tourism facilities. The museums are due to open on May the 18th. Many of the beaches will be open, and some bars and restaurants are coming into play next week.
Some hotels are opening now. We hope to have around 75% of the hotels opening in the Algarve opened in the Algarve in July.
They've introduced an innovative certification system. The idea would be that Portugal, which has had a very low infection rate by international standards, will be able to present itself as a clean and safe destination. Unusually, we still have flights to Portugal from Ryanair to Lisbon.
We have what we call the clean and safe stamp, and we have now more than 4,000 companies in Portugal already using the stamp, commitment to the new hygiene cleaning protocols that are in place to help control the pandemic. Then you have also museums and palaces and tourist attractions opening on Monday as well. We are hoping the beaches to be opened also from June the 1st, with rules to be put in place. We are expecting a guide for the using of the beaches to be published anytime soon.
But the big prize is when the Algarve will reopen and when it presents itself as an option, hopefully from the beginning of that big tranche of Ryanair flights in July.
Algarve is in a very good position because our Algarve has had so far about 350 cases. So it is in a good position, but the stages that of the reopening of the economy are taking place to the whole country.
The cruise industry has also been consolidating its reopening dates. Two of the worst damaged brands by events during the outbreak of coronavirus, Princess Cruises and Holland America, have both pushed back the resumption dates to November. Royal Caribbean's resumption date, mid-June, is in common with the target date for the European Commission to reopen tourism across Europe, while Norwegian are opting for July the 1st. Resumption dates for cruises have proven optimistic in the past. But the big legacy issue from the Department of Transport decision last Friday is where stands the 6-month voucher. The European Commission is accepting what international aviation has already put in place, a 12-month voucher at the end of which a full refund must be paid.
People are totally confused and it's changing every 5 minutes.
EU 261 still applies, but in the course of an often contradictory 500-page document they released, they have acknowledged the position of tour operators and travel agents. The 6-month voucher bought time for travel agents and tour operators, but it cuts off the option of a 2021 alternative for the holidaymaker. That is what a lot of the customers are looking for. Martin Skelly of Navan Travel, former president of the ITAA, is not alone in saying that must change.
For definite, that has to go to 12. You know, really what we're saying at 6 months is that you have to plan your holidays, your 2021 holidays in 2020. For some people, that's not practical, both for us and for our customers, because it's cast iron, it's set in stone, and that will work for everybody. And even if they decide later on, I'm not going to travel or I'm not going to travel, we can put a hand over heart and say, your money is safe. Whatever you want, it might take time to process, but whatever you want, you will be able to get it. In that, I'm really delighted in that regardless of what happens, we can now assure our customers, if they don't have a travel plan, that the money we hold for them is bonded and licensed and it's guaranteed. And that's a really great comfort.
Travelwrap is commissioned by the Irish Travel Agents Association. The views here are my own. This is your forum, so let me know what issues need to be highlighted. We'll see you again on Tuesday evening.